Live on the YouTube thingy now.
That's LaShawn. My lip gloss on. Lips a little dry.
All right, here we go. Did you get the one sheet, Jerry?
Yes, I did.
Cool, cool. Nicole did not get the one sheet
No, I don't
because
have a.
she is our guest. That's why.
Mhm.
That is why. Here we go. I'm gonna trying to do some. I have like multiple screens over here. Nicole, you saw it when I was doing the boomerang. I got all these screens. You would think I was in like Fox. Here we go. All right. Hey girl, hey.
Hey, what's
Hi
up?
y'all. What's up, girls? How
Hi.
y'all doing?
You doing
Hi.
good? How you doing?
So this is the Hey Girl, Hey podcast. I'm your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
I'm y'all millennial Tipton.
We got the millennial chick, the chatter chick is out today, but we have a special guest. I call her a friend. We met in person one time
One
Uh-huh.
time.
and been friends ever since. Like literally one time.
A weekend
We
though.
caught a
Weekend.
it was during a weekend. We met at a junket for baggage claim in LA. It was my first time in LA.
Uh-huh.
And Nicole, you were the first person I met on the shuttle bus.
Okay. Okay.
She's
Yeah.
like, all right, I guess so. So
That's fine.
Nicole Collins is a former radio personality, and she's also an act. Now she's an actress and a director, and she filmed documentaries. And she's amazing. She's an amazing actress. I was watching your IMBD file,
Oh
little
yeah.
girl,
On
little
there.
girl. I was like, and I'm critical. I'm critical. And I was like, oh, okay. Not that I've ever been in anything. Why do I think I know something about acting? I don't
That
know,
you know
but
something about life and stories and storytelling and what you want to see in
Right.
realism.
girl, brought it. So I'm so glad. I know that we or are we behind. Where are you? You're in Louisiana now.
I'm in
So
New Orleans.
what's the time now?
I'm an hour behind.
Okay.
What time is that? Whatever it is, subtract that 5:55.
We are live on YouTube. So if you're not tuning in on YouTube, you will be able to check this out on Saturday, live 365 and tune in radio at 9:30 a.m. on Urban Media Today Radio. We're going to talk to Nicole more about her job and what she does or her career and her new career choices. It's taking a leap from radio to film in our final 15. But we're going to do a weekly rundown. We do this all the time, Nicole. We talk about what happened throughout the week. Of course, everybody's talking about the election. We are not a political platform, but for some strange reason, we tend to talk about it
It's
all the
surprising.
damn time.
Like it's yeah. I mean, at this
Yeah.
it's, entertainment is definitely politics, and
Mhm. Yeah.
And
sadly,
vice versa.
right, right, vice
Yeah.
versa.
I'm ready for it to be over. What about you, Jer?
I'm hey, it's something. I'm just like this election can't come fast enough, and I'm ready for it to come and be done with and move on.
Now,
But
I voted. I voted early. I actually stood in line and I did the mail-in registration or did the form, and they were like, "Well, you could vote today," and I was like, "Well, shoot, why not?" And so
Yeah,
I voted early. Did you guys do anything? Any voting
no,
early, or you're waiting for November 3rd?
I'm supposed to be able to go tomorrow. My daughter's been doing her virtual school, so I hadn't had a chance to break free, but I'm gonna
Okay.
go. That's the plan.
yeah, I think when
Okay.
I'm wait with my mom, we're so last minute, and
Hmm.
she's still trying to figure out if she wants to do the mail-in or just go to the actual polling place. And I said, well, I mean, it's right up the street. We can just actually just go there. Like, I don't mind. I did it the last election, but I know it'll be like last minute, probably the day of.
Now, I don't know if there is a what's it called? A deadline for mail-in, but don't
Yeah, there's a deadline for all of it.
okay.
I think it's.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that state by state? That's probably a federal thing. But I know early. I know early voting. Each state has their own.
I
Uh,
don't know. Well,
Okay.
just as long as you go.
yeah.
That's all I'm saying. The
Um,
third now we record our show on Thursdays. So tonight is the third presidential debate. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, they're gonna have another debate, this time with the mute button.
Good.
I'm excited about the mute button.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, not so much.
There's a Black woman moderating tonight.
Yeah.
I know her because I watched the Today Show, and she does Today Weekends, and for some strange reason, her name escapes me, but she's Kristen Welker. I think her name, yeah, and she's pretty good. She's really newsy, so I like her. Hopefully, they'll be respectful and respect their time, you know. And I don't know. I predict Donald Trump walking off the stage.
I don't put nothing past him.
In true diva fashion. That's it. I'm not doing this anymore. That's it.
It's terrible. A mute button for a presidential debate.
This is the first time they've ever used the mute button.
It's crazy that they've had. I'm pretty sure they feel like they have to. Like
this time they have to do that.
It's so they are so just don't care about respecting people's times and protocol.
Right.
Like, you know what, if we're going to continue doing this, you know, and it's sad. That just lets you know how entertainment.
I don't know if it's going to be as effective because they'll keep talking. Even if they say time, they'll keep talking and you'll be able to hear them. But yeah, it's embarrassing. Honestly,
it is.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
All
right. So
us to overseas and pitching us overseas is like this big reality show called America, and that if you go outside of America you can watch the America reality show. You know, it's like they're getting paid for all of us to be like this one big reality show for other countries. I just feel like there's one day.
I didn't ask to be on a reality show,
right?
So you know they need to cut because this is ridiculous. We're very vulnerable right now as a country. And that's what I'm afraid of. We're extremely vulnerable, and I feel like nobody's watching the house. Everybody outside playing, and ain't nobody watching the house, and somebody gonna come in and take all the good stuff. Yeah. And that's not good. That's not good. I do want to say, just on an entertainment, but still on the same subject, 50 Cent said he might leave the country if Joe Biden becomes president because of Joe Biden's tax plan. And he's not too happy. And I was like, well, if don't nobody like 50 Cent, you know what to do. Vote.
Nobody.
Get out the vote.
On like.
Say that again. You kind of cut out.
Huh? Can you hear me?
You cut out. Go ahead.
I was saying, maybe you can explain this. I was reading about it and I was just confused as to what he was saying. And then his ex-girlfriend, Chelsea Handler, came in comments, was saying stuff. So explain that to me exactly what happened. Like, how did
he saw Joe Biden's tax plan, and, you know, he's rich, and, you know, the rich are going to get huge tax cut. Not tax breaks. They're going to be made to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Over $400,000. That's where it comes into play.
And so I guess 50 Cent, which he said he filed bankruptcy, so this don't pertain to him, but he was saying if Joe Biden becomes president, that he's going to leave the country because, you know, he can't afford that. Chelsea Handler, who was his ex-girlfriend, saying that he was her favorite. He used to be her favorite ex-boyfriend. She offered to pay his taxes just so that he could vote for Biden. And it's sad that somebody would have to pay your taxes in order for you to do what you're supposed to be doing. You make this. I had an argument with someone yesterday about this. I mean, I get you want all your coins. I understand that, but you got to pay your taxes. If I got to pay my taxes, you got to pay your taxes too. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, you're going to get it back, I guess. I don't know.
Like, how do they get away with not paying taxes? That's what I don't understand.
Ask Trump. Anyway.
They get away with not paying them. That's where I'm lost.
I'm just ready for this thing to be over with. You know, it's just a big, crazy mess. And I don't know. It's just a big, crazy mess. We don't have another story as far as the weekly rundown because it's been kind of quiet. You know, a lot of the news stories this week have been focused on the election, less than 2 weeks away. I do know that Kim Kardashian says that she still supports Donald Trump. She didn't say if she was going to vote for him or not, but I could hear LaShawn saying, turn my mic off. because he's helped her with the prison reform system.
Right.
But her husband, Kanye West, he still wants to be. I don't know why he's still spending money and running, trying to be on the ballot. Nobody's asking him to come to a debate or anything. But I guess he could still run, right? Is that true?
Yeah, but it's it's wasteful. It's just unproductive, counterproductive. What's the point? But yeah, he can still run apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that did you see the name of his party?
The name of his party no, because I thought
it's the
Sean Diddy Combs is the Black Party. What is Kanye's?
The birthday party.
The birthday. Yeah. Okay.
Look at Kiki face. Wait a minute.
That is. I just don't know. Like you said, it's why is he trying to prove?
What? Why? How? First of all, how did I miss that? Please tell me what is the significance behind the birthday party name? Do you know?
I didn't. I don't. There are certain things, and this is for my mental health, my sanity, just for my well-being. There's certain things that I just look at and I just give it okay, and I just because I don't think I even care. I don't feel like that information is even vital to my everyday well-being. I just don't care. I don't know.
Okay.
Let me know because I'm not gonna go look for it.
The birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The thing that concerns me the most is that people think this is funny. And so they will vote just because it's funny. And that's how we ended up with the president that we have today. And I mean, I'm just saying, people thought, Apprentice. You know what I'm saying? And why don't we just vote because it's the Apprentice, Yeah. And look.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying not to vote. You vote for who you want to. You have a right to. But we really have to take this seriously. Now we're talking about healthcare. We're talking about education. We're talking about police reform or I want to say deform. I don't know why I'm saying deform. Why is that? That's not even a word. But defunding the police and we're talking about the pandemic, and it's very serious right now. This is not a game. People have lost their lives due to this pandemic.
Right.
And we're going to talk more about the pandemic in the next 15 because Nicole, we have fan mail. We get fan mail. And I got an email earlier and it was kind of weird. And I was like, I don't think I want to read this one. But the one that came in actually close to this afternoon, it was pretty serious. And we're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to cut short real quick and get back to it. It's the Hey Girl, Hey podcast on Urban Media Today. Hold tight. Hey Girl, Hey.
Hey, what's up?
It's the Hey Girl, Hey podcast. I have a special guest, Nicole Collins from New Orleans, Louisiana. She might look familiar if you're watching her right now on YouTube. She's an actress. She was on 12 Years a Slave. She was on, is it Treme?
I was on HBO's Treme, yeah.
HBO's Treme. And what was with the EMTs or police officers? What was that? When they something? What was the movie? I saw the clip and you were hugging him and you told the guy, make sure he comes back safe.
Okay, that was a short film that I was in a long time ago. Yeah. That one was called Girl, Don't Make Me Lie.
See, that's how many she been in. She can't remember.
No, it was that one's been that was a short film. It was a student film that I was in. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You were really good. Really good. But we're going to talk more about Nicole and just her journey from radio to film in a sec. We have to get into fan mail, and this is pertaining to the coronavirus. It says my COVID crazy coworker. My coworker is COVID crazy. She's been complaining about her kids' school being online because of the coronavirus. I know parents are tired of dealing with their kids, but if there's a pandemic, why would you choose to subject your kids or loved ones to it? Just because you need a break? She urges that there aren't any studies that show kids get sick. Then they said fake news. Kids are getting sick, maybe not as much as adults, but this is a concern. Or am I wrong? Why she got to be all out with it at work? Just deal with it. She's getting on my nerves. I don't know what the question is, but I guess we'll just
I was like, wait.
You're a child. You have a child. My son is an adult, but just thinking, I wouldn't let my child go to school, even
Okay.
if schools were open. I would not, because adults get sick, and so I just worry. Even if it's not happening right now, it could happen.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm
Absolutely.
like, I don't want to take no chances. You know what I mean? My baby gets sick, and then I have to kill somebody because.
Right.
My sister's husband drives a school bus, and at least Pittsburgh public schools aren't open, but he was driving for a couple other schools in like Wexford or something like that.
Mm-hmm,
And now he isn't working with them
mm-hmm,
because kids at the school got COVID. So he's going to be off work for a while. I didn't understand why they were such in a rush to send children back to school, because like you said, it may not be so immune or as much to have it if you're a child, but adults get sick too.
mm-hmm.
And we've heard in other states of kids going back to school and they get getting sick. I think there was another Pennsylvania school. I don't know where it was at, but they had to close down. So, I mean, the homeschooling, I just feel like no one should be going anywhere, especially school, until we get this handled out the way. Who knows when that's going to happen? I don't know if they're just testing it out like a trial run, like, oh, let's see how this goes, but it's not working. People are still getting sick every day, and the numbers are just rising. So I'm not a parent, but if I was a parent during this pandemic, I would not be sending my child to school either. I would not.
What do you say, Nicole? Because you have a school age child.
Right. So it's a difficult situation. My daughter, because we live technically in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So she's doing virtual school in LA. We don't have a choice. LA,
Okay.
I don't think any of California is back in school physically. It's all virtual.
Mm-hmm.
So we really don't have a choice. I think, for the kids, they want to go back. They don't care. They just
Right.
want to go, and
Mm-hmm.
I totally get that, because it's, I want to look at my mom all day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want
And
Yeah.
parents don't feel like looking at their kids.
right.
Get
Like,
out my face.
the amount of parents that have been caught on these Zooms naked and whatnot. These parents don't want these kids in this, what I'm saying? They want their house.
Right.
But on the contrary, I was telling somebody this other day, if we did live somewhere where it was an option, I probably would not feel comfortable.
Nah.
No, I would not feel comfortable. And she, wouldn't be in school physically. In California, I think what's happening is they're waiting for a vaccine to come before they just open up school, which I'm not even like ready for that right now, because I need y'all to practice that on a whole bunch of people before it makes
Mm-hmm.
my kid.
Or animals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then sadly, the thing about that is we don't really know the really important adversarial effects of that probably until like years later.
Yeah.
Right.
In 2050, you'll be seeing them commercials. If you took the corona vaccine in 2020,
Oh Lord.
so
I
it's
didn't
just
even think
like
about that.
it's
You are subject to a lawsuit. Like,
Yeah.
never know. And so it's one of those things where it's just so much. It's just so much, and
yeah.
it's never like one thing, and it's always like, okay, right now, then you have next week, next year, 10 years. This is something that this has definitely changed
Right.
America, us, the
Right.
world, for the rest of our lives. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll continue to feel the effects of corona for years. But I don't know when I would feel comfortable with her going to school. I allowed her to start having sleepovers with one friend every weekend, just to kind
Mm-hmm.
of like help out with
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's one friend. I trust her family, and we say we're each other's bubble. But just to give her that feeling of normalcy and just being around another child and having that. But it's tough, man. It's tough because I enjoyed going to school. I loved, I had a crush.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want my mom in my conversation with my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I get it. I totally get it. And I get it, But as a parent, I'm not going to lie. The whole work from home thing worked for me, and like getting stuff done at home worked for me. So it's actually really convenient not to have to like plan around her school schedule.
Yeah.
It's fourth grade, so I don't have to be there hand and foot, just like, hey, what are you doing? The teacher doesn't want us around, and I'm like, cool, y'all go to y'all school. Let me be what I'm, doing. So this is actually very, very convenient.
So that's worked out for you.
So I'm not complaining. I'm not like, send her back. No, I'm like, good, because I don't have to get up real early. I don't have to like try to hurry up and be done by 2:30 or whatever. Like I just work,
Right.
We got a comment on Facebook by Kimberly Fairley. She says, if the person doesn't have kids, I wouldn't even acknowledge the thought at all. People have opinions, and some people think that it's just, especially when you don't have kids, it's like, oh, you're being melodramatic, you're being paranoid, or, they're just not sensitive to the situation. And then one person, Lily Danielle 126 on Instagram, said, people pick and choose what they want to believe for one reason: they are inconvenienced. So like, sort of kind of like what you said, Nicole, you were just like, sometimes, you just want your kids out, get out the house, or just go ahead and go to school.
Right.
Not you, but just how parents would want, okay, I just need my house back. I want to be able to walk around with no bra on and my house slippers.
Right.
And drink a beer in the morning if I want to. Not me. That's just some people who want to drink a beer in the morning. That ain't me. I don't do that. I don't do that.
It was. I get that too. We all have the right to wanting space in time and sanity. I don't, I know some people like to shame parents for wanting that time away from their children, but people need that. Sometimes you really need that to function. You don't realize how important it is for those breaks, we don't have really a break until we don't have it anymore. But yes, whether you have to go to work or whatever, it's still somewhat of a break. And so I don't shame parents for longing for that, but then it comes to, okay, you can long for that, but then it's like the safety of your kid, though, the safety of the overall well-being of everybody, I think it just should be a little bit more important than your desire, for space and time.
Yeah.
And maybe you can get that space and time in other ways.
Right.
But no, yeah, you're right. I mean, I get that. People want that. They want to be alone sometimes.
We're gonna cut short for this break because we could spend more time with Nicole and just talk about her career. Did you have one more? Did you have something else to say about the COVID-19, the pandemic, Jerry?
Just be careful. That's it.
I'm over it. I'm so tired of it. I'm sick of it. If I forget my keys, I have to be like, oh, my mask. I can't. If you forget your mask, it's like, oh, I forgot my mask.
I keep one in the car. I keep one on my door. I keep one.
Yeah, that's where I keep mine in the car.
This is our life now. This is our life.
It's part of your wardrobe. I don't know how many masks I have. Just so
that's good.
I have a lot. It turned from one to many. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be right back. It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast with Urban Media today. Right back with Nicole Collins. We're gonna tell her story in just a sec. Keep it live. All right, ready?
Yep.
All right, we're back. It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media today. I'm your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
I'm your millennial chick, Jerry Tipton.
Chatter Chick is out today. We have a special guest, my good friend Nicole Collins from New Orleans, Louisiana. I want to pick up her accent so bad. I think that Louisiana accent is so amazing. I love it. You
won't hear a New Orleans accent from me. I was I'm born and raised from Alexandria, Louisiana, which is in
Alexandria.
the
Okay.
middle of the state. Lived in New Orleans for 12 years, moved here when I was 17, then moved to LA. But you know, I
Okay.
worked in media for
No, I hear your Louisiana accent too.
you hear it? Yeah, usually
Mhm.
it's not as strong as it could be, trust me.
Yeah.
It was beat out of me. But you definitely don't hear a New Orleans accent.
So there's a difference then.
Oh, we have several accents in Louisiana.
Okay. So because it's Creole, correct? From
We have
French and all that. Give me some history. I don't want to say it wrong.
so you're right. So we have, you have your Cajun.
Hmm.
More of it's more of heritage and culture more than anything. And so, you definitely you don't really have a Creole accent. You have
Okay.
a community of people. You have
Okay.
an accent, which is usually local to Southwest Louisiana.
Okay.
Like your Lafayette's, your Lake Charles, your Opelousas, those types of areas. New Orleans has its own accent.
Mhm.
Baton Rouge people sound like Lil Boosie. So
Yeah.
that's just the best way I can, NBA young
Yeah.
Lil Boosie, and that's just an hour away from each other. And it's such a
Mhm.
big difference in
Yeah.
accent. Then you have your North Louisiana accent, which is, I guess, would be more comparable to Dallas or Arkansas. And
Mhm.
I'm from Central Louisiana. So we may sound more like Houston more than anything. Um, like an influence of the Cajun and the Houston, like, point blank country. So it's country, you know.
Okay.
So it's real country. It's real country and real Cajun sometimes. So it's like, no, I don't sound.
Now, you mentioned having to break your accent. Is it because of your career in radio? Is it, or why did you have to kind of break your accent being actress
So
or?
I worked for iHeart. Well, it was Clear Channel when
Hmm.
I started, and then it turned into iHeart, and I worked for
Hmm.
the #1 station in the Gulf Coast region. And the people I worked
Hmm.
under, they ain't play that. So
Yeah.
it was no, you need to sound like we want our people here to sound like they can be from anywhere. So
Right.
like,
Mm.
okay, well,
I was
okay.
told the same thing. I was told the same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Pittsburgh, you act like you do not talk like you're from here.
Yep.
Because our O's, T's,
Yeah.
said, Fred,
Not for a country when I got
here, I'm about to get my hair
Yep.
done. So we
This, I
cannot, don't break that mic talking like that.
North
Right.
side.
Mm.
say.
North side.
North
Where you live
side.
at? On the north side? I'm like,
Here.
ugh, yeah,
But as
can't.
long as, I feel like this. I know how to turn it on. So I could get real,
Yeah.
like I get real country with you right now. Like if y'all want to get country, if y'all want me to get comfortable, this me right here. And we can do it. Or or I can take it away and speak with the King's vernacular and whatever. Like
Like how you can change it, because I think of actors like Idris Elba who has that British accent, and but sometimes in movies he doesn't talk that way. You forget, that he has that accent. I just think that is so cool. Even like singers, that have an accent, like Ella May.
Did you hear her? She said, you hear.
that's the
You
Pittsburgh.
I
That's
said,
Oh yeah, that's Pittsburgh. Oh, it's Pittsburgh.
okay.
Yeah, definitely
Is
thick.
Pittsburgh
She's a Pittsburgher.
to Philly?
No,
Y'all have two different
we're
accents,
like, yeah, definitely. Philly's like what, 6 hours away from here?
but y'all
Yeah,
have
about that.
the same accent.
Mm-mm.
Philly people, you can hear an accent. I think because they're more up north, closer to like New York and stuff.
Mhm.
But it definitely, it's like if somebody from Philly came to Pittsburgh, I would know. You would know. You know what I mean? Just by the way they talk. They talk so much
But that's
different.
how it is, right? That's how it is here in Louisiana. If, depending on where you're at,
Right.
and usually as I'm from, like I said, the middle of the state, and I have family from all over the state. So
Right.
Mhm.
usually I'm able to hear someone speak and be like, okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
you must be from here because I could hear it,
Right.
Mhm.
But But then when we go to, like, for instance, when I was living in Los Angeles, there's a big Louisiana community there. And you can just tell by the accents, you know, that you're from Louisiana. So then you get to
Right.
talk, like, okay, you're from these parts of Louisiana. But it's always cool. I think accents are actually great.
Yeah.
I think they're sexy.
Yeah.
Think
They're so cool.
I hear your accent now. I hear when you say cool.
Oh, mine?
Oh, man. Yeah, I
Let me
heard.
tell you, I met my honey. I met my honey, and he has this kind of like a up northern Pennsylvania, but New York slang, and he was like, "Yo, what up, ma?" I was like, "Oh, yo, what up, ma? Yo, real talk, like, yo." I was like, "Oh, yeah." And we are still together,
Good.
together.
Good.
Now, that was 15 years ago. Now, I mentioned radio, Nicole, because that's how we met. Both you and I worked in radio. I was in Baltimore at the time, and you were in radio, but you changed careers, and you changed careers over to, I would say, the film industry as an actress and also as a director. What was it that made you change? Was it a leap? Was it something that you just you got tired of radio? Like, what was it that made you make the change?
So I guess I could see where we would say change, but for me, it wasn't necessarily a change. It was more so a shift, because acting has always been a part of who I am.
Okay.
Before I even thought about radio, I knew I wanted to be an actor.
Right.
It's just that I put more focus, because for me, it was easier to put more focus on
Okay.
radio than it was acting. And I had this grandiose plan. I was going to go to school for mass comm. I was going to get at first I thought I was going to work in news. But I did an internship my freshman year. I was a Katrina freshman. So changed, meaning Hurricane Katrina, that was my freshman year. So everything was messed up after that, and things just weren't being done properly, meaning as opposed to waiting until my junior year to get an internship, I was able to get one my freshman year. And so I got one at the local news station and went on a hit with one of the reporters. A business was burning down, and the owners were there crying and sad, and we were over like, breaking news, this is amazing, this is great, we got to get on it. And like, I see the people crying, and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot do this, getting excited like this over like someone's misery. Right. So I immediately was like, okay, I don't want to do this. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to do entertainment, because that's more in line with what I want to do anyways. Right. My goal was like 106 in Park, stuff like that. So I need to probably just do radio. No, it's not on TV, but things were starting to change at that point. It was already a thing. It was right before Soulja Boy, though. So it was right before YouTube was real impactful in getting you noticed, but it was still like a thing. Cameras were more accessible. You were just able to creating was like was becoming a thing. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get into radio, and I'll start here, build my way up here, get on camera. Somebody's going to see me. They're going to fly me out to New York or LA, and then I'm going to get on radio there. And then I'm going to
that's how it works. Of course. Yeah.
Girl. Baby. Right. No, baby.
She said, baby.
No, Lord, listen. That ain't how that went.
Like, come
again. Pump the brakes.
After a few years, I wouldn't say a few years. Well, yeah, a couple of years, 2 or 3 years after getting my internship and then being on air, and things not moving at the speed that I wanted it to. I got my internship at the fall of my sophomore year. I became an on-air personality my junior year of college. And by the time I graduated, I was like, okay, since I don't have to focus on school, I have this job at the radio station, and that's what it was becoming now. It's just becoming like a job. But I was still trying my best to utilize the resources, the personality pages, the internet, myself out there and put myself on camera. But then I was like, since I have time, I'm going to focus now on my acting, and focus, go to class, audition, things like that. And then I got pregnant. Like a year after, I decided to get serious. And while I was pregnant, I was like, okay, since I have all this downtime, I'm gonna just go in on the acting stuff. And so had my daughter, and then that's when I started doing more film acting. And then I got my job with the Pelicans, well, the Hornets. We were the New Orleans Hornets, and we became the Pelicans. I was there in arena host.
Right.
So that was fun, but very long, because basketball is long. It's a long season. Right. But it was very fun, and it was definitely for me a 5 steps up from the radio.
Right.
Because I got to do like all-star hosting and all kinds of stuff. It was great. But after that, I stopped booking. I stopped booking roles. And then, that's part of it. You win and you lose, and you get rejected, and it's just part of it. You just have to keep going. But at that moment where I stopped booking the roles, I became sad. And he's my current boyfriend. He was my boyfriend at the time. We had broke up in between, but he was, my boyfriend. And another friend of mine encouraged me to just create my own work and see how that goes.
Right.
I had started creating stuff for the radio station, like, little bits where we interview people or host things. And I produced that. And they were like, produce your narrative stuff, like write a script and make you the star and act and get it shot. So I was like, all right. So I started doing it. And once I did the first one, and it was like, it was so much, like I look at that one, I was like, oh my God, there's so much wrong with that now. But that's because I've evolved. But we did it. We made a short film. And after we made that one, I was like, I want to keep doing this. And so, it just kept building up in me. Now the filmmaking was more maybe a change, because I never thought about filmmaking. I only wanted to be an actor. But then my passion for radio just became less and less and less for different reasons. Just the politics behind it. I know you have your experiences in radio, Kiki. I respect everybody that I came under, but that I didn't want that for my life. Seeing, how some people stay in it, and under the circumstances they stay in it to the point where it's like, this is all I have now. I don't want that. I didn't even want to be in radio like that to start with. And I remind myself that, because you get so caught up in the competition factor of, I need to keep doing this and this and this to be full time. I'm not successful if I'm become full time if I don't get it. And it's like, wait a minute, pause your brakes, pump. You've already put in 7.5 years here doing this game, playing this dance, dancing this dance, playing this game. What you gonna do? And at that point I was advancing with the Pelicans, and I had heard about like another job opportunity in LA with NBA, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to, this was before I found out about the job opportunity in LA. This was in 2015. I was about to make my 8-year mark, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. That's just where we're at. I'm gonna miss like Mardi Gras and one or two other things. But I don't even like coming into work. Like, this is like the saddest thing for me. This is depressing.
It didn't make you happy. You weren't fulfilled with it.
I don't want to do this. I can talk to people at the games, at the basketball games. I can go outside and talk to people. People pass by all day. Like, if I want to talk to somebody, I sit on the porch. Like, I just don't want to do this.
So do you regret it? Do you regret the decision to? Okay.
Not at all. That was one of the best things I could have done, was to say, hey, this isn't serving my life. So let me, the energy I'm putting into here, let me now shift that energy more into this, because this is really what I want to be doing. And this is holding me back from here. So it's like, it wasn't like I was working a full-time shift, because I never became full-time. But at the same time, the energy that it takes to hate something is a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really want to enjoy it. And the reason I asked Nicole to be on the episode today is because when you work in radio, and Jerry, you've worked in radio as well. When you work in radio, it calls so much from you. You put in so much of yourself. You make a lot of
Right.
sacrifices because
Right.
the goal is to be at the
Yep.
top. If the top 10 market, you want to be syndicated, you want to be the next Angela Yee or the next Wendy Williams, and right now the next Dee Dee McGuire, and or the next Dominique the Diva, who was a part of our little clique in LA.
Story is great too. Her story
She
is
has an amazing story. Dominique the Diva, shouts to her. She just had a baby and she's killing it in the DMV. So
I'm very
shouts to her. So proud of her. So proud
I'm
of
not
her.
down in radio at all. I think radio
No.
is great, and I think that it has. And if you can survive radio now, especially, then you're a very special person because
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm thankful.
Yeah.
I've learned so much in radio that I'm applying to
Mhm.
now, and I'm very thankful for the people that I came up under. I'm thankful for my experiences, the good and the bad, but I'm also thankful for my decision to walk away.
So here's the question I wanted to ask you, because for me, if anyone asks me, about pursuing a career in radio, I am 100% raw. Before it was like, oh my God, you should do it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. But being a 28-year vet, you've seen a lot of things, and you don't want to scare them, but you want to prepare them. You want them to know what they're walking into. You want them to know the real.
Right.
What someone did not tell me, and I learned later, was get to know each and every department.
Yep.
Know what production does. Know what imaging, because imaging and production, two different things. Know those two departments. Know what sales does. Yep. Know what promotions is, and know what traffic is, because traffic is not reporting traffic.
Right.
It's putting the logs together, the commercial logs, and merging with the radio. And as a board op, somebody, you would know that, but not everybody knows it. They think, oh, we're going to be at the radio station because that's where superstars come in and you get to do the interviews. No, that doesn't happen. And in most cases, some people get their breaks when someone loses theirs.
Yeah.
Someone gets their break when someone loses theirs. Someone loses their job. That's a door open, and it's so crummy, but that's what happens. And you learn to just take it as that's a part of the game. I also learned to have thick skin. I don't have thick skin. I don't have thick skin at all. I don't know if you do, Nicole, because you're in entertainment, and that's great. I'm a lot better now than I was.
Mm-hmm.
It's just us here, so no one can disagree with me. But I think I'm a little. So I will be ending my 28th career in radio. I'm just going to take a pause for a minute, because when you're doing something, you want to do something that makes you happy. You want to do something that you're not sitting in a parking lot talking to Jesus like, okay, Lord, I need you to get me through this today, please, Jesus. Right. I need you to bless the bars, bless the water cooler, bless the board, the headphones, Lord. Just bless the people calling, Lord. I don't need no idiotic stuff today, Lord. Just help me get through this day. Every day in the parking lot, in the elevator, I'm praying and asking God to give me strength. And that's a good thing, but it shouldn't be a Band-Aid just so that you don't have to go through nothing. You should be able to enjoy your work environment. You should be able to enjoy what you do. And I love the listeners. I love the connection. But like you said, the politics behind it is something that it comes with it, and you learn to deal with it. But it is hard to deal with.
It is. And politics happens, I'm sure, across all mediums. And so, and like you were saying with radio, you usually get a break when someone loses theirs. Well, mine was opposite. It was more so of waiting for these people who have been in these positions for so long, waiting for them to decide to leave. And
wow.
New Orleans. And you know what? I found that out too. New Orleans is like one of, if not the only market where we've had the same people in the same positions for like longer than 15 years, 15 to 20.
Damn.
Right. So midday, actually, if I would have waited it out about 5 more years, and I could have probably been in line for midday, because our middays finally changed here. I think this past year, I think. But she's amazing. She's great. But she moved up within iHeartMedia's ranks. Definitely great at what she does. But she's now in like an executive position. But she been there for a long, I think she started like in 92 or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, but New Orleans is one of those places. It's just like that. I would have been waiting around to my 30s, and it's like, no, I ain't doing all of that. I'm good. Again, plus that just was not wasn't my real goal in life anyways. That was just something that I wanted to do while I was in college to help build me up. Then you get so caught up in what everybody else's goals are while they're in the competition factor, and
right.
It's just like I had to be like, girl, calm down, because you don't want to be a failure. You don't want to put all the year. I mean, it's like a relationship. You with somebody and you're giving your all to something, and
I know about that one. We talked about it.
You want it to work. To work, and I don't mind giving my all to anything that I want to do. But if me giving my all means killing me and not getting anything in return, then no, it's not worth it.
Exactly. And that's how
go ahead, Jerry. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, that's exactly how I've been feeling with the whole, radio and like journalism job seeking rather, putting in all this time and education into it and trying to find a job. I don't know if it's the city I'm in, because it's, Pittsburgh is so limited to journalism and radio jobs. And I'm just like at the point where I don't even know if this is something that I should continue doing. I don't want to I know I'm still young and everything, but while I'm still young, I need to make a decision. Like, is this something I want to continue to do or fight for, or should I just make a whole new career change? So
well, what's your goal? What do you want to do
with
air? Do you want on air, or you want journalism? Like, because it's two different parts.
In 5 years or in 10 years, if we can skip to 10 years, what do you think would make you the most happy about your life at that point where you're at?
Working a full-time job in journalism, being
what
so I was focusing more on radio because that's what I did all throughout college. I was interested in it, and I do have a part-time job at a radio station, but I haven't been working there due to COVID. So with that job, it was kind of like I'm waiting to get up into being a radio personality, but who knows when that's going to be. So I was looking more so on the radio side, but now I'm also doing writing for a local newspaper. So I can do that too. I'm open, to being that full-time reporter, writing for a newspaper or a magazine, or being, that radio personality. And then just like you, I had thought about being like an anchor, or being like the top person on like 106 in Park, or like, CBS or whatever like that. So I had those dreams, and I had, those goals of like making it big like that. But now, I'm like, I don't want to give up on the career because I put so much time into it and effort and education, but it's just like, I don't know what else.
I think you just have to be planted in the right area. I think if you wanted journalism, if journalism is what you want to do, then kind of stay in there. If writing is your strength, because radio, again, they'll hire you first to be a street team member and a board op, which ain't, no shade to board ops and street team, because I did all of it.
Right.
But, you could be doing that forever and that be it.
Use you. for as long as they feel like you are willing to allow them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because you think that it's helping you get on. And it's just like,
Exactly.
y'all keep doing that if y'all want. But I'm a firm believer in utilizing the resources that we all have now and making your own stuff. I get it. You need a moment. And so, if you want to keep working radio or wherever just to make your money, but also be putting the energy into your own thing, whether it's a blog, people getting paid. Man, people are getting paid to do some stuff that, you know what I'm saying? Like just walking around taking pictures of flowers in the yard, like random stray cats, or, video in themselves.
Food critic, film critic, hairstylist critic, like, nail critic.
You can literally find what it is that you like. Like if you like watching movies or like trying out new ice cream, or if you like trying out vegan food or whatever it is that you like. Literally start writing about it, and people will. You have Reddit, you have all of these different mediums that are looking for people and paying people. And you know what, I'm saying this to you, and I'm thinking to myself, well, why you ain't doing it? Why you ain't
It's easier for us to tell other people.
Exactly.
It's easier for us to tell other people than than take it ourselves. But I mean, Jerry, I'm always available if you need to talk, and I'll point you in the right direction. But there's a company called Total Traffic and Weather Network, TTWN, and that's where I went when I was in Maryland. I worked and I reported traffic. I did not like it. It wasn't my favorite. I didn't hate it. I just didn't like it because I had the radio bug and I wanted to be a personality. But I was introduced to reporting news and traffic to different markets, even Sirius XM. So if that was something that, if it was an entertainment report, if it was a news story, if it was traffic, I had the ability to do that for hours, and it was a union job, full time. Of course, I had to live in Silver Spring. I had to work in Silver Springs, Maryland, but they have hubs, and if that's something that you want to focus on, you can try and do that. So people who, don't be discouraged. Don't wait around for opportunities. Create your own opportunities, and as soon as you're not looking, it's gonna come. As soon as you're not looking, somebody's gonna fall and break their ankle. And next thing you know, there's a position available. It's unfortunate that somebody had to break their ankle for you to get your coins. But sometimes, in most cases, that's how it works. Someone can say something stupid and get fired. And hey, what are you doing next week? You want to get started on radio?
That's radio, but we ain't got to do all of that anymore.
No.
And now people have, people are listening more to podcasts now.
They are.
More than YouTube, podcasts, blogs. We starting off when I was in radio, I think it was like mid 90s. So a lot has changed. We had carts, and we went to CDs, and then from CDs it went to touchscreen, and then you didn't need board ops anymore. Board ops are going to be obsolete. Same for operations managers and program directors or music directors. They're going to condense all those positions down, and you're going to have a skeleton staff. You got syndicated radio. You have people doing air shifts for 3 different markets from home. Then they're not even in that market.
Exactly.
So people are making that. They're making their money. You just have to be innovative. But that's what I wanted to talk to Nicole about, because she found a lane. She saw it. She saw something that made her happy, and she wanted it, and she pursued it. And now she's filming. You are filming documentaries.
Narratives.
Or your narratives. Tell me about that.
But I'm more so focusing on narratives.
Tell me what that is.
Stories. A narrative is anything that's scripted, that's fictional. It can be based off of a true story, anything like that, but it's where you're actually acting and not interviewing like a real person about a real thing. It's an actual playing out with actors in a script that's written. So that's what a narrative is. So I do more narrative work. I have a documentary that we're working on surrounding an issue that we're not ready to talk about it just yet. My The Young Woman's Guide series on YouTube would be more of like a docu-series. I'm interviewing the elderly women and getting their advice and stuff like that.
Right.
but I'm a narrative filmmaker. So I write and produce as well as direct. So I'm an overall filmmaker. I actually started doing more filmmaking and directing and producing and writing more than acting. So I had to check myself and be like, look, you know, you like this, but you're gonna miss this too. Like, don't get to the point where you forget that you're also an actor. So, you know, but I get so writing for, you know, writing these stories and making them realistic that I'm not even worried about putting me in it. It's like casting the best person, whether that's me or not.
Is it easy to be frustrated? You can get frustrated in radio. It is a male dominated industry, the entertainment, and you know, it is a who you know entertainment industry. So with being a filmmaker, do you find the same obstacles as far as opportunities, you know, access? Do you have to work harder because you're a female and a Black female filmmaker? Or has Ava DuVernay and women like her made it possible? Issa Rae and
just that. Yes and no. I feel like yes and no to them making it possible. I definitely feel like Issa Rae and Ava, they've definitely helped.
And Shonda, can't forget about Miss Shonda. Go ahead. Can't forget about Miss Shonda, child.
What's her name that did Casey Lemons? I mean, that's from back in the day with Bayou, Eve's Bayou. I mean, there's so many, you know, but right now is a great time to be a Black woman in the film industry.
Yeah.
We are a hot commodity. They're looking for Black women directors. They're looking for Black women director or photographer, DPs or cinematographer. They're looking for Black women. With everything that's going on and all the noise that's being made, it's almost like if you don't have a Black woman on your team, then something's wrong with you. And we're pushing for it, you know, and this is newer for sure. But being a Black woman is like, and I hate to say it like this because we are not a fad. We are not this phase that you can just come in and out of. But at the same time, the focus is definitely shifting to us. But we're going to it's not a phase or a fad. No, we're here. Like we've been here. And so you're finally seeing us, get ready. Because this is you're going to keep seeing us. Like we're not out of style. You know, we're not the latest fashion trend. So,
yeah.
But I like that.
Yeah, I do feel like there's lots of resources just for being a Black woman for me. I was just actually speaking to some friends of mine. Because while I'm in Louisiana, it was a situation of, you know, they're a male production company. And I know that people are looking specifically for Black women to lead, to helm a project. So it was just kind of like, all right, well, y'all have any projects that are specifically looking for Black women? I want to be part of your team. And they're like, yes, we've been denied projects because they were looking for a Black woman to be the lead, the director or whatever. So it's like, cool. So we're going to partner together. Y'all get the work. I come in, be the director, and we make it work like that. So it's about also knowing how to make it work. And I'm not saying that there's, you know, unfortunately, there's still more white men in the industry, leading the industry, but that's changing. I am very confident that it's changing.
Yeah.
And we're making more and more noise. Our stories, the authenticity of them, it's just out there. And so, you know, and now people don't want a white savior movie. People don't want a movie about Black people written by white people. And now we have access to all of this information, so we can pick and choose what it is we're going to support.
Right.
People are supporting, you know, the authentic Black stories, you know, and so that all of that has something to do with where we're at now. And thankfully, I'm coming in where, you know, I don't have to, it's already just a competitive and difficult career to navigate. And so thankfully, we've had those pioneers. We have people speaking up, and we have the people making noise and putting the work in to where, you know, that's one less thing as a Black woman. And minorities in general, because, you know, it's starting to be more and more with all minorities. It's just one less thing you have to worry about. Because we're calling you out. We're calling you out. You know, we're calling you out. The Oscars So White movement, all of that, calling it all out.
Right.
You know?
Well, I'm so happy. I'm proud of you. I've seen you grow. I'm so thankful that we met each other on that shuttle bus in LA.
Mhm.
And I'm so thankful for the sisterhood that we have. And I'm gonna be in New Orleans one day. I don't know when, but I'm gonna be there. If I got to be there with a cane on, you got to walk me
Oh,
through. You know, if I'm gonna be just roll my behind through the bayou. No, I don't know what you I don't know.
Roll my
No, but definitely, and find out. Tell us how we can reach you. How can we get in touch with you on social media, website, all of that?
yeah. So my Instagram is J_Nicole Collins. There's no H in my Nicole. It's Nicole. J_Nicole Collins. I'm on Facebook, Nicole Collins, but I don't know, that's lost cause there. You can email me j.nicollins1@gmail.com, but I also have my email on my Instagram. I have my YouTube link on my Instagram too. So if you just remember J_Nicole Collins, then you can see my YouTube link as the link for my email there as well.
All right. And you can reach out to us on Facebook, the Hey Girl Hey Podcast. On Twitter, it's Girl Hey 2018. Instagram, Hey Girl Hey Podcast 2018. And YouTube, the Hey Girl Hey Podcast. If you need to email us for fan mail, you can do that at the Hey Girl Hey Podcast at gmail.com. And you can call us at 412-709-6130. And this is Jer's favorite part, where you can find out how to find past episodes. Go ahead, Jer.
So to find past episodes podcast.
Come on, girl. You're doing this in front of a director. This is your audition. Come on, let's go.
That's not even on. You were doing great.
Okay. So to find episodes of the Hey Girl Hey Podcast, you can listen to us on numerous streaming sites such as SoundCloud, urbanmediatoday.com, Live365, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and Anchor FM, and Google Podcasts.
There you go. Yep. She's getting it.
I always forget at Google Podcasts. Okay.
She's getting it. Nicole Collins, thank you so much. We got to give her a chick name. So here we go. I am your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
I'm the millennial chick, Jerry Sipton.
And we got the film chick. Can we say film chick?
The film.
I like the film chick. We have a guest. We have to give him the country chick.
The country film chick.
Yeah, I was gonna say
country film chick.
The superstar chick, whatever. You know, I could go on and on. Let me see.
I like country film chick. I love that. Nicole Collins, thank you. God bless you. You know, it's always love, sis. And we'll talk to you on Instagram. But if you missed if this is the last part that you got from the YouTube live, you can catch this episode at 9:30 a.m. on Urban Media Today Radio, which you can access on Live 365 and TuneIn Radio. Just look up Urban Media Today Radio. It is the Hey Girl Hey Podcast on Urban Media Today.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. That was great. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Then I get carried talking, so I'm sorry if I was talking too much.
You did fine.